Good morning. It is Monday. It's Monday, the 24th of November. This is the week that we give thanks at Thanksgiving for all our blessings this past year. It's thankful to know all you, and I'm glad that you've come to my live stream. This morning show is called Fight CPS. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and it's very important that you understand that I'm here to help you. I've been fighting CPS now for 15 years. And what I call CPS is the Child Protection System. It's found in every state and in every county of the state and worldwide in every city of every country. This is a worldwide live stream, meaning that I have 26 countries, including the United States and all 50 states, that have participated in either texting me a message or calling in and talking on the phone. I've talked to over 3,000 people. Now, to make it short and simple, what I call CPS, it's a government agency in the United States that was an act of Congress in 1962 that directed social services to create a group of social workers who would protect our children from neglect and abuse. Further, if the family is necessary to break apart, they would attempt reunification because studies have shown that the best parents are the biological parents to raise the children. So, reunification, which means if there's a mistake that the parents have made, there are parenting classes and programs such as domestic violence and drug rehab, etc., or parenting classes, that would help the family so the family could be back together. But unfortunately, this agency that I call it has a lot of different names. Like in California, where I'm from and where this is being broadcast live, in LA County, it's called the Department of Children and Family Services. Next door, it's called the it's called the Child Protection Services, CPS. And in Prescott, Arizona, it's called the Department of Children, DCS. And then in Richmond, Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. There are many different names, but it all boils down to the same thing that I call and abbreviate CPS. So that's what we're talking about. And I'm here to help you because you're researching Facebook and you found 7 of our rooms. I'll link you to my live stream here and 1 room on YouTube. And it's a hard thing to be involved in CPS. I do this twice a day in the mornings on weekdays at 10 a.m. And then on the weekends, it's at 8 a.m. Then every night of the week, all 7 days, I'm again on a second time at 7 p.m. That's 14 live streams a week. The times I give you are all Pacific Standard Times because I'm on the West Coast of California. I'm south of Los Angeles, a place called Surf City, USA. And I'm 3 blocks from the ocean. And I really want to help you with your particular case or your questions because you may be at a point of time where it just started or it's going to start or it has been going on and you don't have the necessary funds to hire an attorney, which is what you should do. Number one, you should hire an attorney. You need a professional, just like open heart surgery, you need a professional doctor. A dishwasher is not going to help you with open heart surgery. CPS is very hard to navigate. They're very hard to navigate. And hello there, Pamela. You've been in last week. Pamela Pritchard is from Oahu, and she mentions the Kapalani Women's and Children's Hospital on Oahu there. And it says the CPS team, Oahu. Can you tell me more about what the Kapalani Women's and Children's Hospital CPS team is about? And hello, Desiree. I haven't talked to you in a while. Welcome to the live stream. I've forgotten where you're at, Desiree. I've forgotten where you're at. But I'm glad that I have you guys in here. And what happens is that people will be in the room and have a question. And since you have a question, there is a banner up on my screen that tells you how to format your question. All I really need to know is your first name, your location, and you just text me a question or a comment about CPS. We're here to talk about CPS. And I will try my best to help you. Now, I'm a loving father and a husband. I have 43 years of marriage experiences, and I've helped raise 6 children. I also have 61 years of working since the age of 15. And I have a lot of life skills I can help you with. I've helped a lot of people come into this room that were lost and didn't know what to do. And some people have gotten back their children. I know it's hard to whatever you're doing, but I'm glad you take the time to join me this morning and in the evening too. Now, besides texting me a message or asking a question there, I hear you. I think you are Andrea from Illinois. My public defender refuses to show me any paperwork. It's called the court report. It's the dirt they type up and give it to all the attorneys. Well, it's the minute order. You're entitled to the minute order. You're entitled to every paperwork if you're involved in there. You need to get the public defender. You need to maybe go over his head and get a new public defender, one that will work for you. Or you need to file a civil lawsuit for negligence and tell them that you'll do so, or that you'll call the state capitol in Illinois and file a grievance against the state bar and have his license removed. That's what you can do. And that's sad. The public defenders like that. That's not right. Now, Pamela from Oahu, her name is Haina Maku. Maku gave my husband a false positive test once, and I refused entry by Queen Ra. I don't know what that means. She couldn't give me the name of the medical director that refuses me. I'm going. I'm going in for alcohol treatment. Well, if you have alcohol treatment, yeah, that I'm glad that you are getting treatment there. Pamela further says, my iPhone 73 goes to Haina Maku Rehab Center in Kealoni, Hawaii. Keone. Spectrum Mobile only sells devices. They can't help me with my fixed settings. Well, I'm sorry that you're having difficulty, but you are communicating by texting. Say that again, Bob. What was it? I asked you where you're from, Desiree Buckner. I forgot. I know you're working hard, and you've been in my room before. I'm trying to reach my family in Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, okay, Pamela. We have a person named Christina Reynoso that comes here quite often, and she's from Las Vegas, Nevada. Maybe she's here, maybe she can help you. I've been for the last 23 years on Oahu. Last he knew, I lived at Loveland Pondos. Okay. I've lived on Elko Avenue for 8 years now. Okay. Landlord is Stephanie Marn. Okay. I don't need to know names of people, and I don't need to know your exact location. Uh, you live in a Oahu, and it's early in the morning because you're 3 hours behind me. So I'm glad that you're on here and you've been on here before. But I want to help you with your CPS case if you can tell me a little bit more about that. I'm one with the 4 babies. I was asking, where do we go? In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Okay. You're the ones with 3 fathers and 4 babies, if I remember correctly. And, oh, wait, you're from Santa Ana. That's right. I'm sorry, Desiree. It's sometimes very hard. Yes, you're from Santa Ana. Your case is in um, Riverside or San Bernardino, and you have 3 fathers and 4 babies. And you've also called in and talked here before. So, Desire, I don't know why, it's Desire Buckner. Yeah. Pamela says, my ex boyfriend, Derek Chemo, working with them. Well, what is your case about, Pamela? Did your baby get taken from you? Did your baby get taken from you? Now, I'm going to put another banner up that talks about being a guest on my live stream. To be a guest on my live stream, all you have to do is email me at bobp@vincentwdavis.com. And I'll gladly put you on my show as a guest. I'll forward your name, phone number, and email to my show producer, Grace, who will get you on. And I can take up to 9 of you at one time. So pick any day you want. You can just say, I want to be Bob's Sunday morning show, or Bob's Friday night show, or Bob's Wednesday morning show. It's morning or night, 7 days a week. It's 14 shows to pick from. So that's how you become a guest. Now, when you get the link, you copy and paste in your browser. If you get knocked off, put it again. It's good for the whole show. Also, the rules are simple. We respect one another, and we use no profanity. We don't eat or smoke on the live stream, and we don't use the names of children, judges, or social workers. And we're here to talk about CPS, not about politics. I know it's hard at times. And lastly, I want to put up my phone number. That means you can call me right now at 626-698-0990, and I gladly answer your questions or talk to you. I gladly answer you or talk to you. And okay, both you, San Bernardino, uh, Desire, and okay. Pamela from Oahu says, my inheritances were given to the foster parents. So were you a child when you were taken in? I mean, are you a former foster child? 911 told me I'd never be heard. Well, what do you mean you never be heard? Police said they couldn't find me, so they got to keep what was left to me from Poland. Okay, well, it sounds real complicated, Pamela, but I would like to help you. You can call in at 626-698-0990, and I gladly help you there. Okay, you're just listening, Desire, right? You're just listening. All right, we have Desire from Santa Ana, California. We have Pamela from Oahu. And who else we have here? And we have I Hear You from Illinois. Andrea, I Hear You is here too. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of you this morning, which is great. Ooh, I hate to have bad colds. The weather is cold and it will give you a bad cold. Now, Pamela from Oahu says, Kelly Took my son in 2002, said I had tracks. I can't prove I don't. Oh, I can prove that I don't. I don't know if you mean by tracks that you were taking drugs in your arms or something. Maybe that's what you meant by that. Now she's a banker and a surgeon. Well, those are good professions. So how long ago you said your son was taken in 2002? What happened? Did your son get adopted uh, by that person? Did your son get a? Yeah, you use Lincoln. It's how you maybe track people. Yes, I guess so. Oh boy. I think you mean LinkedIn. It's not LIKN, but anyway, that's okay, Pamela. I'm glad you're here. Well, I work off you guys ask me questions. Now, there's other things you can do besides being a guest or text me a message or calling in. You can also do emojis. And please check down below if you want to follow me or if you want to be notified when I'm on. And I'll be glad you to become part of the family. I have quite an extensive family, 30 to 50 people. And I've talked to over 3,000 people from all walks of life and from all around the world. One thing we all have in common, including myself, we ran into a rogue CPS entity, a CPS entity that was bad, a CPS entity that really turned sour. Now, if you want to hire an attorney, I work for Vincent W. Davis. He is an excellent attorney. He's been fighting CPS 40 years and gotten back lots of children. And he's also a trial attorney, meaning he can do criminal cases and as well as CPS cases. He's proficient in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law, which makes up CPS. He also does civil lawsuits. And after your case is done with CPS, he can sue them for violation of your constitutional or civil rights. And he's available. You can call the office at 888-888-6582. He works out of Arcadia in LA County, California, but he'll go to any state. His retainer approximate is $5,000. He's a $500 an hour attorney. Those are approximate values because every case is different. So, depending on the complexity and how long the case will go on, will depend on his prices. But he'll go to other states and so forth. It is a little bit more because there is the airfare, the ground transportation, hotel and accommodations, food, and a license that he has to pay for in those states. Um, Now it seems like Pamela, you stopped texting me. I need to know more information to help your question that you have. Desiree's just listening. She has a bad case. Desiree's from St. Anna. Pamela's from Oahu. And early on, we had I Hear You, which is Andrea from Illinois. And that's wrong that the public defender is refusing. You need to go over his head. You need to go to the supervisor and say that's not right. You're entitled to see the minute orders of your court case. It's called the minute order. It's a summary or synopsis of what take place in the court. It isn't everything they talk about. But there is the court reports and then there's the social services reports. And it's a very complex system. It is. It is a very complex system. Hmm. Okay, let me catch up with you guys. You suddenly came in a spurt of text messages here. Okay, let's see here. Hello there from South Africa. We have Lair Tak Tash Abala from South Africa. I'm so glad you're back here. As I told you, I have international uh, countries. I have 25 countries internationally and one in the US that makes 26. The countries range from Bangladesh and Indonesia to India, up to the Middle East, to Saudi Arabia, to Iran, to Libya, over to the continent of Africa. And then I have Liberia, Sudan, Republic of Congo, Rwanda, um, Mozambique, and the South Africa and its provinces. Then we go up to Europe, and I have United Kingdom, England, Scotland, and Wales, and then I have Germany, Denmark, and Sweden. And we go over to the pond, and then I have. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, okay. Then we go over to the pond to North America, to Canada, and all of its provinces. Then further south, the United States. I have the United States and all its states. I also have Washington D.C., which is not a state. Then we go further south the border to Mexico, and then we go to Central America to Belize. And then from Belize, I go to South America, north of Brazil, on the east coast, Grenada. And then over the South Pacific, I have New Zealand, and the land down under, Australia. So that's a lot. That's a lot of people. That's over 3,000 people. Anyway, I'm glad to see you, Larato, from South Africa. Now we have I Hear You from Illinois. I want to sue my caseworker because she committed perjury, in court, and she lied about me. Again, she's given false information to the service providers. Well, if your case is over, you can sue them. You have to get an attorney to do that. It's a civil lawsuit. Yes, I remember you talked to me. They said that you've assaulted them with a rifle. Now, Desire says, what happens when the appeal attorney files fake statements? Well, then you can lose your case. You don't want that to happen. You need to stop that, Desire. You need to stop that. Now, you further said, Desire, against the CPS social. I want to see the DCS reports from the DCS case reporter. You can request that information. Now, if it was entered into court, the clerk of the court will have the information. You can get copies of every document that came submitted to the court. Now, if it's something that isn't submitted but it's from CPS, you need to speak to a manager, a supervisor, or a manager, or the director to get that information. They need to provide that. If you're being charged by CPS, you're entitled to see everything that you're being charged about. So they need to provide that from you, their Desire. Now, I hear you from Illinois. I want to see the CPS reports from the CPS case workers. You're going to have to request that from the director or the supervisor or manager in your CPS case in Illinois. Now, she further says they won't let me see that DCF reports. DCF tells me my police department has given them, but he won't. Boy, that is terrible. Let me turn on the comments so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I did, but they said no. Her supervisor refused. Well, then after the supervisor, you go to the manager. The manager doesn't work, then you go to the director. The director doesn't work, then you take it to the state, to the civil rights coordinator, and tell them they're violating your civil rights by not providing the information. There's a Freedom Act that you're entitled. If you're being accused, you're entitled to see everything that they're accusing you about. That is your record, you're entitled to that. You need to put your foot down. And again, it all boils around when you deal with a public defender. Public defenders don't really defend, they only work for CPS and they lose your case. It's a shame that people are forced to do that. I tried a public defender, but it was worthless. I had to sell my forever home to get the money enough to hire Vincent to get my children back. And I even lost one child through no fault of my own, no fault of the attorneys. It's just CPS is that powerful. And they brainwashed my daughter at 12 years old to divorce her parents. She was encouraged by um, her CASA rep, and the judge. In fact, there's videos of them together, all with big smiles about how they put the screws to me and my wife. It's a horrible feeling to have that happen. It is a horrible, horrible, horrible feeling. Now, desire, when your appeal attorney files false statements, it's going to hurt you. You need to stop them. You're going to have to go further up. I hear you from Illinois. You have to go further up. Pamela, we need to be focusing on the CPS case of yours. I think it's great you want me to tell me about how your taxes are done, but I need to know what your CPS case about. You said your child, you once were a foster child yourself, and then they took your child away. What happened? What happened? Yeah, your case does have to close before you sue them, meaning that the CPS case has got to be finalized. Um, mm, They can't refuse. If you request your transcripts from the clerk of the court, you have to make sure you go to the right department. The Appellate Inc. are fighting for me. You mean you have a law group called Appellate Inc. that are fighting for you? Uh, Sometimes it's so hard to help you guys because I see bits and pieces. That is terrible. Then I'd put a complaint against the judge. I'd put a complaint against the judge. I hear you. You went to the clerk of the court, and what did she say? I hear you. Why are they trying to silence you there, Pamela? You need help. You need help. You need legal help. I know it's hard. Boy, I tell you, I'm really glad I don't have a case in Illinois. That sounds terrible that you have to go to the judge to get permission. Your records, if you are in, I can't believe it's so corrupt there in Illinois. That really is hard to believe. Would any of you like to call in and talk about your case at 626-698-0990? And maybe it could go a little bit better and faster. I know you've done that. I know you've done that. I'm trying to help you. And typing is okay, but I just can't believe that judge and the attorneys and the CPS are so much corrupt there in Illinois. It really is hard to believe. Yes. Oh, really? Mm. 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 Um, you'll call in tonight? Okay, that would be good. Understand. They turned my daughter against me just like you. She refused to visit on the last Friday. I have to drive an hour to see her, and they told me she don't want to visit. I'm so hurt. I know that feeling. And it still bothers me today. I'm not seeing my youngest daughter. She's 23 today. Her birthday is July. And the last time I saw her, she was 12. The last time I remember us talking, it's so long ago, it seems like it's been, all right, half the time that she's been alive. She has new foster parents. She thinks they're great. I encourage my sons to keep in touch with her. She's going to have Thanksgiving and have my sons to see her. We're going to get together with our Thanksgiving this Saturday. It's not on typically Thanksgiving Day. Anyway, um, well, that's not a call. That's a call to my private line, and I'm going to let it go to voicemail. But I am trying to help you. I am trying to help you. It sounds like a rough time that you have there, Pamela. It is a rough time. It really is. Yes. No.